Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at, and I'm going to show you how to install the Blue Ox base plate on our 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe. The base plate is going to be your way to connect your tow bar to the front of your Tahoe. And your tow bar is going to be the physical connection from your Tahoe to your motorhome. You're going to have some other components that you're going to need in order to flat tow your vehicle. It's going to be your safety cables, your diode wiring that transfers the lighting signals back to the back of your Tahoe, and then a supplemental braking system. With your base plate, it's going to have a very, very sturdy steel construction with a matte black powder coat finish. I think it looks really, really good on the front of our Tahoe. It does not stick out too far, and with the tabs being so close together, they fit right in this opening that all you have to do is you'll have to remove a panel off the back side and do a little bit of trimming in order to get your base plate to stick out. I'm going to show you a quick example of what it's going to look like when you're not hooked up to your Tahoe. So just simply pull this pin, pull your tow bar out, unhook your safety chain loop. The safety chain loops are very, very sleek too. And then when you're not towing, you take this, pull on the spring-loaded pin, twist it a quarter of a turn, pull it out, and that's all that's left on the front of your Tahoe. What else is cool about this base plate is it's going to come with these two tabs to be able to mount your 6-pole plug right to it. What I like about this is that on other vehicles or other base plates that don't have these two tabs, you typically will have to drill about 1.5 inch hole somewhere. We like to put them here in some type of plastic piece, but this allows you to utilize the space that's open in here and not have to drill any additional holes. As far as the installation goes, this install is really not too bad. I would say more so than anything, it's just going to be time consuming. There's nothing here that I don't think you at home couldn't do with a couple of hand tools and some drill bits. The most frustrating part about this installation is that you're going to have to take the entire front fascia off. All it is, it's going to be a bunch of screws and a bunch of plastic push pin fasteners. Again, it's not difficult at all, so let's pull it in the garage and show you how we did it. To begin our installation, we're going to take a flat-headed screwdriver, and we're going to have some push pin fasteners that are holding this plastic piece up here in place. We need to remove it so that we can get to some bolts underneath because we have to take our front fascia off. To pop these fasteners out, there is going to be one side that has a little opening in it. Slide your screwdriver in there, pop the center out, and then pop out the base. We'll just go around the whole perimeter of this, taking all these out. With all of our push pin fasteners out, we'll need to take these two screws out. This is just a handle extension so you can reach it from underneath to release the hood. Pop those two screws out, slide that off, and this allows us to be able to pull this piece up and out of the way. Now we'll take a 10mm socket and remove the 6 screws that are across the top of our fascia. We're going to have 5 screws in our wheel well we'll have to remove. One's going to be further in, right here near my finger, and then you'll come out to the edge, and that's where the other 4 are going to be. We'll just take that same T15 torque bit to remove them. This angle tool here that we have makes this job very, very easy, so it might be worthwhile picking one up from your local auto parts store. Then you want to take your wheel well liner, pull it back, and we're going to do all these steps on both sides of the vehicle. But we're going to take a 7mm socket. There's a screw that's right here that's holding this part of our vehicle to the fascia. Slide that on. It's kind of tricky to get to. Once you get the socket on there, just loosen it up. Underneath our vehicle, we've got a lot of fasteners, a lot of screws that we have to remove from this belly pan. It's kind of confusing, but essentially we need to remove these 3 7mm screws, and we'll have to remove the T15 torque bit screws that are this one, skip these 2 that are really close together, this one, and then underneath we'll have a 7mm here, 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 skip this corner one, and then this one on the edge. So we'll just take our 7mm and our torque bit and start removing them. So once you remove the last screw, you want to hold on to this bottom belly pan because it is going to come off. Let's set this off to the side. Up here inside the wheel well, or real close to it, you're going to have a 10mm bolt on each side that we'll need to take out. Now with an extra set of hands, we've got Shane here helping us out. We're going to start peeling this fascia out. You just want to start here at the wheel well, pry straight out. And our vehicle is brand new, so these are popping loose pretty easily. But there's going to be some clips behind this section here too. You may need to use a trim panel tool in order to get back there. Just be very, very careful that you don't break any of these components. This part right here is very helpful to have that tool. Pry out, move it down, pry out some more. You should be able to get it to pop loose. There we go. And then we'll just work our way along the front. You want to pry up on this top of this grill to make sure it's released. And then we're going to have some pretty big tabs inside the grill. If we pull straight out, you can get those to pop loose too. Once you work back and forth on either side, you have to pop the little fasteners out. This trim piece here, it's very, very thin, so be careful with it. Put your trim panel tool behind it and just pull out gently. On the inside, we're going to have some wiring that we have to disconnect. We're going to reach down in here. You want to pop the little red tab and then push down, pull out. You get it disconnected. And we're going to have one more harness that's still attached here, and we'll have to get it disconnected. Once you get that other harness disconnected, we're just going to set this face down in a safe place. Now we need to cut out these upright pieces so that our base plate will fit in here. At the bottom, you want to cut it flush with this horizontal piece. You can see the white marks I made. We're just going to cut that flush there. And then at the top, you want to measure 2 inches down from the very top. It's just below this hole here. You can make your marks there, 2 inches down. We're going to cut this section out. I'm just going to be using a multi-tool today. They work pretty good with this stuff because you can cut a nice straight flat line. Now we've got Shane back here helping us. We're going to lift our base plate up into place. You want to kind of rotate it up. Might have to pull down a little bit on this horizontal piece. Then we're going to slide our bolt from the inside through the hole that lines up. And that'll help hold it in place for now. Now with our base plate temporarily in place, we're going to take a marker, mark the center of our holes in our base plate, and that way we can pull our base plate back off and drill those 2 holes. We got our 2 pilot holes drilled in here. You want to just work your way up until you get to a 1/2 inch drill bit. With our holes drilled out, we'll raise our base plate back up into place and put our hardware back in. This time we're going to put a lock washer on each one of them and get them lined up. Once you know all 3 of your bolts fit through the frame rail, what we're going to do is underneath here there's an 1.5 inch hole. We're going to drill straight up through it to drill out the bottom bolt hole to a 1/2 inch. Take our handle nuts that come in our kit. This bolt was a little bit more difficult to get in place, so I can't spin it with my hand, but we'll just spin this nut on. We're going to draw the bottom of our base plate up against the bottom of our frame first on both sides, and then we'll come back and put those same handle nuts on the 3 bolts inside and tighten those down. You want to be sure to use red Loctite on all of your hardware. Then we're going to come back with the torque wrench and torque down all of our hardware to the specifications and the instructions. Once you get them all torqued down, we'll come back and you just want to bend these wires back and forth until you break the weld. Just like that. You'll want to put your safety cables, we're going to run the safety cable up and through this hole in our frame and then around, and you want to hook it to your quick link to this hole on the bottom of our base plate. It's essentially just designed to be a safety measure that if something catastrophic were to happen and the base plate rips off, this safety cable on each side will help to hold everything in place. Now at this point in your installation, the base plate is complete. We just have to trim out a little bit on our fascia and then put the fascia back on. What I'm going to do is go ahead and finish up the rest of this flat toe, get all your other components in place, and then we'll come back and show you how to trim that fascia out. So on the back side of our fascia, we're going to have a couple of white clips we'll have to remove. We'll just take a flathead screwdriver, push down the tab, and then push the clip out. This is where our base plate tabs are going to stick through. So it's actually nice because we won't have to do trimming. You just take this piece off and then the base plate fits through it. We're also going to have 3 7mm bolts here and then 2 T25 torque spits. What the instructions will tell you to do is hold the fascia up and mark out what is necessary to cut out of here. I can tell you from past experience holding this up, it's kind of going to be a waste of your time. What I'm going to do is just cut out this crosshair section and make it nice clean opening so that all of our components can stick out through this gap. If you try to cut out small pieces of it here and there, you're going to end up botching the whole thing. So I would say just cut it out altogether. So you can see the white marks we've made. We're just going to cut out this crosshair. Well guys, hopefully this video helped you decide whether or not the Blue Ox direct connect base plate is right for you in your 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe.